And normally we start with a prayer. I guess we were advised yesterday that we may use a prayer from National Assembly. Please lead us with that prayer. I'm looking at the National Assembly.
Let us pray.
Yes, please.
Almighty God, from whom alone cometh all counsel, wisdom, and understanding, we thine unworthy servants here gathered together in thy name, do mostly humbly beseech thee to send down thy heavenly wisdom from above, to direct and guide us in all our consultations, and grant that we have thy fear always before our eyes, and lay aside all private interest, prejudices, and partial affections. The result of all our counsels may be to the glory of thy blessed name, the maintenance of true religion and justice, the peace and tranquility of the Republic, and the uniting and knitting together of all persons and estates within the same in true love and charity, one towards another, through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, PC, for the prayer. We shall move on to introductions. My name is Paulo Bipuso Lucas, Member of Parliament, Bubirwa, the Chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee. Thank you so much. Honorable members.
Chairman, I'm a Member of Parliament, Kosoroa South, Committee. Chairman.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Honorable Shima Monachin, Member of Parliament for Mlepula South and a member of this committee. Minekere Chairman, Kanano di Neperito Haditwa, dire Tleke Kio, lawyer, counsellor Kio, Huanele Kaswapa,
Mr. Chairman, I'm acting clerk today.
Oh, okay.
In the clerk's absence.
Thank you,
Thank
Chairman.
you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you. Lina ke gore tetse ke kgonegile mo Parliament wa Mau East ke le local committee one. Thank you.
Oh, what's wrong? Dumelang betso. Ke video a hela go te Sam Dirwa. Mo Parliament wa go simolla mo rapa go akoma kalamabedi. Kgaolo e video a go te Buteti West. Ke le local committee one.
Thank you, honorable members. Honorable Pologolo, please have your seat and introduce yourself, please. Yeah, you arrived at the right time.
Good morning. Kibidua Victor Pologolo, Member of Parliament, Ganyo West, Member of this committee, Chair of Finance.
Thank you so much. The three AGs, please introduce yourselves.
Good morning. My name is O.A. Mimwa Lucy. I'm State Counsel from the Attorney General's Chambers.
Mbaki Manyake, representing the Office of the Auditor General.
Good morning. My name is Zambong Ande, representing Office of Accountant General. Thank you.
Good morning once again, Mr. Chairman. My name is Ame Masuku. Substantively, I'm Parliamentary Counsel. However, I'm acting clerk for the day.
Thank you so much.
Good morning and thank you, Chair. Names for the record are Theo Seleto for the Parliamentary Counsel's Office. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good morning. I'm the technical advisor to the Committee on Accounting and Auditing Matters. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Advisor. Gongwe ke nako ya gore re utlwe gore ba re na le bone tlhatsi eno ke bo mang ba re ipolele.
Good morning, Honorable Chairman. My name is Mompati Taulo.
Taulo. Okay. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, my name is Mompati Taulo. I am the Chief Registrar of the High Court. No, I will let them introduce themselves.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good morning, Chairperson. Good morning, members of the committee. My name is Wikobo Gaikitse. I am the Registrar of the High Court.
Good morning, everybody. As my name is Rahube Savestare, I'm the Acting Controller of Accounts. Yes.
Okay. Okay, no control of accounts.
Omo lesong otakaze ke monna.
All right. Master, okay. When? Tau. When master? Tau.
Master Hayo, the substantive Hayo, but we represented.
You represent Lokwena.
Yes.
Ah, thank you.
Thank you.
Tula nyor na kura har simula. Raikana. Janu artsara mo ne tula ganyo ya go ikana ka ba ile go tsa ka dira mo tira formation. Me ha ikana ka ba ile bana le tula ganyo ke ba ka e dirisa. Ne ba garona ba tale guide Mr. Taulo. Makadinao. Lona ba le itseng tota ora go ikana go dirwa jang go tshola tshola bo go le. O ka tshola tshola bo go le tshwanetse. O tla ntshala morago. I say your name. Or I went over Galina Lava in the original. I,
Mompati Taulo,
swear by Almighty God,
swear by Almighty God,
that the evidence I shall give
before
this committee of Parliament shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing else but the truth. So help me God. Rale Bogaretso. Thank you so much. Have a seat, Honorable Jacobs. Controller of accounts. I,
Rahube Savestare,
swear by Almighty God,
swear by Almighty God,
that the evidence I shall give before this committee of Parliament shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing else but the truth. So help me God. Rale Bogaretso.
Thank you.
Thank you. I,
Wikobo Gaikitse,
swear by Almighty God,
that
the evidence I shall give
before
this committee of Parliament shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing else but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you.
Chairman. Nane ke kopa gore a ga go toka gore ka rotlhe ra itse gore gone ditshwarego tsa botshelo di nna teng gore gongwe chairman e ne e raga e le gore the substantive officer is not available.
Yes.
Gongwe go diriwa officially to you through maybe the technical office, or instead of go tla the substantive re na le tshwarego e o na le tshwarego e le go tla so and so a mo emetse gore se ka ne ka re in this meeting re ha khamala gore Moemetse substantive officer.
Ke tsa gore ha ene tsamaiso batho betso le lona hela le gakolole bodiredi jo thela gore ha ile gore o pe o tata ha ta emetswe ke mongwe ga e re itse go le nako ka gore ha gongwe batho ba bangwe ba leng di accounting officer ha ba tsentse ba te ba account ba roma bo monna bone e le hela maikelelo a gore motho a ska a rabela dipotso tse di tshwanetseng mme bile ka ke lehetse le ho mo nako e tang re ta tsenya leito thata re monageng mo goreng go tsile mang a mme ke ene yo signeng dibuka tse di submitilwe mo go rona ka gore tota re batla bone beng ba tiro ba ba bidiwa go te accounting officers gore nne bone ba te ba appiera kwa a kere outwetse ke tsa gore advisor le wena advise all departments that we really want substantive holders of positions to attend and answer as accounting officers. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Advisor na supa gone gore mo nako e hitile re kile ra busa batho mme lona le sego hela ka gore e hetse go rapetswe hetse go rapetswe la ba la ikana ha re mo nageng a tisa kgang mme a re ka kera dira jalo mo go ba bangwe ka re tswela peng thank you re mo nageng for that piece of advice.
Just for clarity, Modula Steve.
Right.
Now I don't understand where the concern arises from, because now I feel I agree the person who is in front of us is the one who actually signed this document. So why the concern? As or maybe we should ask to know the structure of the organization, not actually changing the position that we have taken now, but maybe it's worth knowing who. Now I thought the master is an officer within the organization, not necessarily the head.
Yeah, no, in his case I think it's fine. May So I think the point shall be made and is being made that Totarabata substantive holders of positions when we sign in the book. Mr. Taulo o simula jalo ka gore nela an executive summary e tar nelang a peep into the past, present and possibly the future. Executive summary, Mr. Taulo.
Perhaps, Mr. Chairman, not to disturb you. Through you, Mr. Chair.
The executive summary? PC. Oh, PC?
Yes, sir. It was just to give you comfort, perhaps, to say that indeed he is the accounting officer at AOJ as the chief registrar. So he has come substantively in that role.
That has been established.
Okay.
It's fine.
Thank you.
It's okay. Go ahead, Mr. Tau.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and members of the committee. I come representing the administration of justice. I'll just try and make a brief overview of the mandate of the organization. The judiciary is established under Section 95 of the Constitution as an independent organ of the state. The major functions of the judiciary is to interpret the law and to resolve disputes between citizens and citizens, and between citizens and the state or other organizations. The judiciary uses the review process to do checks and balances on the powers of the other arms of government. The overarching goal of the judiciary is captured in its mission statement, which reads, to uphold human rights, democracy, and the rule of law in accordance with the Constitution of Botswana. And the vision of the judiciary is achieving a world-class judiciary. I don't know if I need to go into the specifics of the...
You have 10 minutes, Mr. Taule, so you pick and
Okay.
choose what you think.
In that event, Chairman, with your leave, allow me to skip that list of functions that are carried out by the judiciary, so that I go to the key achievements, paragraph 2.0, for the year under review. During the period under review, the administration of justice realized achievements in terms of policies, strategies, projects, as well as performance of the courts, which over the past financial year has been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. Performance of the courts improved by 8% in the magistrates' courts, and 8% in the magistrates' courts, and 5% in the high courts for the year under review, being a comeback from the COVID-19 challenges. The implementation of the second phase of this establishment of Maung High Court Division, with the delivery and installation of the additional courtroom and administration block. Then we have the improvement to the magistrates' houses security in both Kasane and Bobono, which was completed with the construction of boundary walls, installation of electric fences, and motorized gates. There is the amended High Court rules, which came into effect January 2021 after the 2022-23 budget had been prepared and approved. The amended rules came with an increase in pro-dio fees and tariffs. The increase was 285%. The improved fees have seen an increase in the uptake of murder cases on pro-dio basis. Initially, a considerable number of attorneys were not keen to take up the cases on pro-dio basis on account of the low fees. The Magistrates Court Act was also amended to increase the civil jurisdiction of the magistrates' courts from a maximum of 40,000 to 100,000. The amendment came into effect in August of 2022. The definition of beneficial owner, that was an issue with the FATF recommendations, was amended to make it consistent with the Financial Intelligence Act. As a result, the country's rating was upgraded from non-compliant to largely compliant at the SAMLAG meeting in July 2022 held in Zambia. The key challenges for the year under review: the administration of justice for the year under review was still experiencing the debilitating effects of the COVID pandemic, which had affected the operations of the courts, speed of planned projects, and expenditure. The following are some of the challenges experienced. One, the administration of justice realized an acute shortage of manpower as it expanded its services to different locations. There was no provision of additional manpower to cater for the new courts and functions, resulting in severe manpower shortages in court administration personnel. The next one, although the increase in fees for pro-dio cases had a positive impact in that it increased the uptake of such cases by attorneys, on the other hand, it has proved to be an expensive exercise since such an increase was not catered for and hence not budgeted for in the year 22-23. Since the courts cannot stop their business, this then crippled the administration of justice's finances, with the result that there were outstanding fees owed to lawyers who were defending accused persons in these pro deo matters. Further, owing to this turn of events, the judiciary had to reprioritize its activities and forego some to allow core business to proceed. The judiciary continues to expand. Such expansion is evidenced by the establishment of new courts in Mogoditsane and Takatokwani. The administration of justice is currently faced with challenges of finding a suitable place to house the Mogoditsane Magistrates Court. Efforts are being made to secure land to build the court, and currently the court is housed at Broadhurst Magistrates Court and at Mogoditsane Rural Administration Center. Budget provisions for the year 2022-23. The recurrent budget. The warranted provision for the administration of justice for the year under review was 344,081,990 pula. The total expenditure incurred in the financial year 22-23 was 339,394,690 pula, which translate to a 99% expenditure. The development budget, the administration of justice was allocated 16,582,072 pula under the development budget during the year 22-23, an amount of 8,596,205 pula, which is 54%, was spent. The budget covered infrastructure projects such as procurement of transactional advisor for the construction of a purpose-built court in Serowe and staff houses using a public-private partnership, maintenance of court facilities, procurement of vehicles for newly established courts, improvements to court security, temporary office accommodation, as well as the computerization projects such as e-filing, computerization of the administration of justice, and improvements to judicial libraries. The under-expenditure is attributable to the lack of skilled manpower in areas of architecture, engineering, and quantity surveying. The absence of these experts causes delays in the pre-contract processes and ineffective project management. To mitigate this challenge, we have identified some positions to rationalize and create the quantity surveyor and mechanical engineer positions. Revenue generation. The organization had estimated to collect 35,364,510 pula, out of which 29,897,843 pula was collected, which translates to 85%. The reason for the under-collections was that most criminal cases disposed did not carry a sentence of a fine. The two major revenue streams for the administration of justice are judicial and subordinate court fines and fees of the High Court. I will go only that much, and thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you so much. I would now want to invite honorable members to engage with the Chief Registrar on matters of administration of justice. Advisor, we do have issues coming from the PAC report. One has to do with ombudsman issues that resides with yourselves. And the other one has to do with a backlog of cases that I also want you to reflect on. But as for now, let me get honorable members to engage. Honorable members? Honorable Polokolo?
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Once again, good morning, Rataulo. I'm interested to know, I mean, I hear your reason why we're going to under expenditure on the development budget. But Neki Putsawari, do you have any reports or have you carried any inspections, conducted any inspections? Both the courtrooms, liquid judge, I mean, in particular, the situation with magistrate court, where there are floods, I mean, the offices, they're unbearable. Do you have any report to that effect? And then secondly, your reason you don't have skilled personnel. Does this also apply to maintenance? It's basically standard. Local companies can actually carry out the maintenance. Just over 8 million. And then you also indicated that while created those positions, at this juncture, you have not indicated or they still remain vacant. And in closing, something that caught my attention, staffing. The overpayments. I mean, one would think your department, you can have almost $250,000 in overpayments. And this was, remember, this was in 2022-23. Or has there been any improvement in collecting the monies are overpaid? And lastly, on the shortage or money gone missing, straight. Can you give us an update on that? The 155 reported to have gone missing or to be shorting, shortage or loss of it. Can you explain and go a little further as to explain what do you mean by this? Especially that Ledila Lemolao, and you should be taking the lead in ensuring some of these cracks. Le leader on how to ensure their feel we don't allow such to happen. Thank you very much.
Yeah, go ahead and respond, Chief Registrar.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think the question was long. I hope I'll be able to touch all the aspects of it. The expenditure, the under expenditure, when tied to places like Molepolle that have problems that we see. We spend what we have budgeted for. So when money has been allocated for a particular project, it is spent for that particular project. But coming to the under expenditure itself, when we say we lack the expertise, there are a lot of stages that happen pre-contract you need the architects, you need those mechanical engineers, the electricians, all those people to work on the agreement that you want to have with the contractor. So you don't just bring Taulo there to say, make an agreement with this person. You need someone who knows what they are talking about when they talk about building a house, or whether to design, or whether to decide whether it can carry the load that you think it will carry. So that's the kind of expertise that we do not have.
May I redirect? I mean, it's okay with that. Maybe you'll explain or my interest there's environment in government. We are always told money was meant for this, money has been taken for this. My interest here a situation ya caught the flooding ya caught the Akanye. Is it a report that you have, or have you carried inspection yourself? And to a point whereby my dear Aboa, was it not because there was no need? I mean, maybe that is where my interest is. And the situation, even up to this day, why was it necessary? No need for an expert. Somebody should come in and say, Taliban Kanye in this place, it is gone down. Why was it not necessary?
I am sure, Honorable Member, that an inspection would have been done, even though I did not personally do the inspection. I may not, sitting here now, have a reason as to why nothing has been done, but I'm sure it's an answer that we can look for and avail.
As a follow-up,
Yeah.
Chair.
Hey, just wait. I want him to exhaust his questions. Yeah.
So, Malepolo le kanye ke tla ha tsone because di tlhomola pelo thata. Up to this day, they are still not attended to. And yet there was money that could have been used to make sure and instead that was not done. I mean, is it lack of your customers and your employees, they have to go to that place every day. And this is a place where a lot is expected to come out of that, and yet it is not habitable for Batuabadiris and this place. Is it something I'm making up, or can I maybe keep or there has been changes, and how's the situation now?
Honorable Member, the situation of Molepolle still exists, but it is not for lack of an appreciation of what such a situation precipitates for the people who work there or who seek services from such a place. It is the limitation of finances.
No, but earlier you said you are using money for what you have budgeted for. So our situation, it has not been budgeted for. Even where we are currently, at least but at least in this budget, this year, budgeted. So does it remain unbudgeted for or maintain because but I guess the same goes to other courts as well.
It is in our consideration, Honorable Member, to see that all our courts are in a habitable state, including Molepolle, including Kanye.
Mr. Taulo, Kamal Lehela wa answer potso bogolo jang ka gore o botsa gore a tsonetsa molepolelekanye a mme di budgetetswe mo bogompieno. Good or is in your consideration that does not address his issue or a mme di budgetetswe.
Yes, Honorable Member, they have been budgeted for.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Go ahead and answer other questions from himself. He had one or two other questions about overpayments.
Overpayment and the shortage.
Hey.
The overpayments.
Sugar.
Okay. The overpayments, Honorable Member, mostly arose out of people who left the service. When we tried to check going through them, most relate to people who leave the service without serving notice. They will tell you today, I'm leaving, and they go before you even give them the response to say whether you accept that or not. And that means you would not have had the time to do the necessary steps to ensure that the salary is stopped. And that means they will get their next salary and becomes an overpayment. And usually because they live under those circumstances, we do not know where they are. It takes time to trace them to recover those funds. Yeah.
Shortage.
I get on it, Mr. Taulo, ba bereki utela bana le mo di benefits jalo le ha resign ka tsela yone eo.
Yes.
A le tele dire thulaganyo ya gore gongwe mo go tsone di benefits tsa bone tseo di hold go tsele mo go tsone. Is that something
Yes, Mr. Chairman, it is done. But you see, the reason people are required to serve notice is so that as the office you are able to do all these things to ensure you can recover those monies. But when they leave suddenly, it leaves you with no options.
No, I want to live days, but
Indeed.
And then when I learn my the benefits of what is there a way of, tell I the recovery Madialuna more when it's in the benefits of it?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Where we have those leave days or other benefits, we can recover from them.
You can, but are you recovering?
We do.
Yeah.
We do. But sometimes he runs away, he only has 2 days leave. So you are not able to recover everything out of it.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And yes, sir. As the administration of justice, one of the ways we have challenged ourselves has been that we should avail a court to every Motswana, at least within 100 kilometers. And true to that, we have tried to ensure that funds permitting, resources available, we are able to place a court within that distance from any Motswana. Of course, we are not yet there. But what has happened in the process of doing so, we have attracted our personnel. Places like the courts that we now have, Kang, Nata, Gumare, Shakawe, all those places were set up using only the resources that we had. So that it meant out of this room, taking 2 people you take them to set up a court in Shakawe, take 2 more people to set up Gang, to set up Hukunzi. In the process, we have come to a situation where we are short in Shakawe, we are short in Hukunzi, but we are also short in Gaborone. Because we were trying to reach as many places as possible at the same time. We are currently undergoing a restructuring exercise, which we hope will also bring in a workload assessment component to help us work on the numbers to see whether we have the numbers that we need for the work that we have. So part of the reason why people will be complaining that I've been coming here, my case is not moving, what. Some has to do with the fact that the same hands that we had, we spread them around. And now we have fewer hands, but more work. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah. No, I hear him on that one, but there's this very interesting reporting that you have shared with the committee. Yeah, loss of cash or shortage of cash. As an administrative justice, I take it you have to take the lead on closing any fissures, settling or cracks. What have you done to ensure, to recover this money? If ever there is anything so silly, and your investigations into how this money ashwatanga thing, is it something that you can share so that other ministries will learn from you and ensure risk your neo by tswala ga ba diragalele?
Thank you, Honorable Member. The shortages that we have arise out of a number of factors. Some are misappropriations, some are losses where you have a breaking, somebody has not remitted the funds, and when they say breaking, the funds are lost in that manner. So those are the types that we have. As for the recoveries, we engage with the people directly to try to recover. Where we are not able, we engage the Office of the Attorney General to follow these people for us.
Madia loss of cash, 155,000 in that particular year. Madia Manzi. At least from the Auditor General's report. In a lower and this thing, your name loss of cash. Ministry thing, Maria la terra holona ki 155,000. Yano kana go holona. Ka ibile le batho ne ba molao tota. A me le bona le close all gaps. Tse di ka dirang gore madi a la terra ka bokete jo boka na mo ngwagolo mo.
Let the recovery aspect.
Yeah.
It has to be recovered. That's a recovery.
With let me say with misappropriations, people are crafty creatures. When you set up to close loopholes, they are also looking for new ways of circumventing the same process. So it's a game where you are running to close the loopholes and they are looking for the next one. So I think it's a matter of doing the best you can under those circumstances until you realize the day after that you found another gap, which God forbid we hope does not happen. Yes, sir.
Ke sa re ngwe re ke a go utlwa or batho ba tricky mme sengwe se gongwe re tshwanetse re wetse ka sone ga re bua ka dikgang tse di tswang ko go ona re bophologolo kore mme madi gone ko go lona a lebega a duta lona le 155,000 wa loss of cash le na le 256,000 yo e leng gore ke di-overpayment wa bona gore madi a puso gane ya ko go lona administration of justice o ka re a duta thata ela thokontlhae ke batla re hita ka yone a ke tsora go na le sengwe se batla go se bua ba di hala mme ke batla re wetsa dipotso tsa gare phologolo.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we appreciate these observations. I think it just requires that we intensify, at least on our part, the training of our relevant people who have to deal with these processes, to check and double check, to ensure that where we can, we are able to close these gaps.
There's another one very crucial, I think. In number, they are looking to employ specialists. This is something they were anticipating into achieving in 2022. Has there been those positions created and are they filled?
The positions are not yet in hand, but we are at an advanced stage with DPSM. I hope if all goes well, we should have them in the shortest time.
Okay. Members, Honorable Monageng, and then Honorable Jacobs.
Chairman, go na le gore yaka re le PAC yana re le committee e dirang tiro ya go bona gore dio di tsamaya mo maphateng a government jaaka o le ha o di arabela re hela re ntsha di recommendations gore re rona re le committee re eletsa gore go diragale jana le jana le jana yaanong go lebega mo ngwageng tse di hitileng ditaelo tseo le sa di tseye tsia ko di recommendations le sa comply le tsone le sa ntshe mabaka le di dimala hela potso ke gore go dirwa ke eng ka gore kana ha re le ha re ha ka taelo ya government re ha re dirisa madi a setšhaba yaanong go hela go raya gore go nna teng ga rona ga komiti ga go sologele setšhaba molemo ka gore ga le reetse ditaelo tsa rona recommendations tsa rona concerns tsa rona ke ya ntlha ya bobedi ke sebete se molangwana thata hela mo dikarabong tsa gago mabapi le tiriso ya madi a le abetsweng gore le dire tiro ya lona le lephata bogojang yone ya dikago tsa ga Makastrata jaaka Honorable Phologolo tsa bua sekai sa Molepolole le Kanye ka ke tswa ko Molepolole ke itse seemo sa kago ya ga Makastrata court ya Molepolole ke swabang ko gateng ke ha khamala thata gore abe le netso madi a kana ka 16 million ampa hitang 16 million abe le dirisa sephato sa one half ya one le be le busa around 8 million. Me seemo se ntse ka sentse ko Molepo le ko ga magistrate court le ko Kanye le ko dikgaolong tse dingwe. A go mo tota go supa gore o le accounting officer, you're on top of things. Because ha ile gore ya ka nna ke itseng ke le ka etela gore gore ke le ka nna ka rabotsa dipotso mme ba re nyara kana re sa re isa kopo ya rona le seemo sa kago ka hentseng ka teng. Yaanong gongwe potso ya me ke gore a gone ke sa go tsenya under the bus mme hela gone potso ya lebaganye le wena re Taolo accounting officer gore a wena hela o le accounting officer o ntse o itse seemo sa dikago tsa ko Molepo le ko Kanye le kae gore se di makgasa di rileng gwa metsi a ntse a ka go ntse go buiwa ga go a nna sentle a no itse ha no itse ke o no sa leke ka bojotlhe ofisi ya gago e sa leke ka bojotlhe gore go ye go baakangwa se 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 baakangwa kana go mo chairman go tswana le re mo lapeng a rekile grocery ya la e tetseng fridge e tetseng pantry a bere ka lunch a ba bona a ne ya lwa phaletše a shaba ka cabbage a ba botsa gore ka ke rekile nama ke eng ke sa shabe ka nama ka kokompo ka nama ya kgo a be karabo e sa utlwa le sente nya ke chaise late nya ke rileng gore madi na le teng seemo sa Molepo le court building le ko Kanye le kae ga sa simologa ngwaga tse 2 tse 3 sentse se le teng mo dingwageng tse tsotlhe mme madi na le teng a be go sa allocate madi gore go ye go baakangwa la re ke gone le tla allocatang ke bua yana tota chairman ke sa re ba high court hela ke ra gore tota la bodiredi a gongwe e ka re gona le boitseme e ka re gona le gore a be re sa tlhaloganye gore tota hela ha re berekang teng seemo se ntse jang go batliwa eng re tsore budget eng re direng yaanong ke re a ntse o le aware ka seemo sa ko Molepo le ko Kanye ke le sa se attenda ke le sa se emela ka dinao.
Thank you, sir. Seemo se le sa Molepo le Kanye sa boela. Chief Registrar.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On the PAC recommendations not being followed, honestly, at least not under my watch, I would not allow it for PAC recommendations to be willfully disregarded. I think where the perception exists that there has been some disregard of such recommendations, it would be best if we were talking specifics, because I'm sure that for each and every one of them that has not been acted upon, there would be a reason behind why maybe it remains open. It's something that I would not allow. Yes, sir.
Chairman, resolution 4.14, non-response. The ministry has not provided the PAC with specific examples of cases where the AOJ has complied with the Ombudsman's recommendations, both full and partial compliance. Please explain. That is what I'm reading here.
Okay. Thank you. I think that's very helpful. Most of the issues that we have with the Office of the Ombudsman relate to transcription of case records. someone has been to court, they have been found guilty, they want to take the matter on appeal, but the record of proceedings is not yet ready. The record has to be produced by a court reporter. The court reporter every day is going into court with the judge. When she comes out, she has to transcribe everything that happened that day. It takes us back to the manpower problem that we are having. Ideally, it would have been better to have a judge or a magistrate with 2 court reporters. But we can only manage one. Sometimes they even have to share because there are very few in the market. So the ombudsman cases, for example, arise because the court reporter cannot find time to deal with that old case while at the same time going into court. So it takes time because she has to come on that weekend or use her spare time to try and speed up the transcription, not because we are deliberately disregarding the recommendation. Thank you.
Chairman, back to the issue ya Molepolo. Tota kore nane ke eletsa gore no le ready to answer it, so you may continue. Kore nane ke eletsa gore moreetsi ko lapeng a le ko kgatleng a le ko gangwaketse a le ko Mokwena a kgone go tlhaloganya gore tota keng gormente a sa baakanya dikago tse mme madi a nantshitswe kore o le ka go e tlhalosa re se defensive re se
me o iboditse maarabe ebile o taba ke to o boeletsa karabo ke dumela jalo ka gore ne ntse le kgang ka kwa ka gore phologolo.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I think nna ke eletsa motswana ko gae to know that ke keletso ya rona. First of all, ka gore ke rona banga office, ke rona ba re thola mo teng. Re eletsa go berekela go siameng. And all things being equal, ne re ka rata gore tsatsi le letsatsi ha re tsenang teng re ta re thapile re ta re ntse jang go bo go ntse go le go nte mme ga se ka ha re eletsang ka teng, unfortunately, because funds are something else. But speaking to this particular issue, madi a neng a boa a re buang ka one gore a buile ga se madi a neng a budgetetswe the particular place e re buang ka yone. So in a tabele ya go thoka
a gora gore these buildings were not budgeted for. Kana earlier on you said we spent what we had budgeted for. Me tota Molepolo engwe mo lapelo potso ke gore a ga isko e budgetelwe a ene e budgetetswe be go nna le phoso go ntshiwa madi mo teng gongwe ke yone my last question ke tlabe ke le very, very satisfied and content.
Gone kana mme o na kile a leka go supa gore all this time gore re disa budget there mme ke bone ke tu bua le o na le ena hala ba araba gore nya me this time around di budget I can no real word.
Yes, sir.
Ke gone go mpieno ya ka di budget mona go e ha morago nyana madiana a boao ana sa budgetelwa tsone di court tsone tsa Molepolo le
ga ke batle go dumela kore chairman arare madina le teng di ka go tseo di ntse ka dintse a be go sa budgetiwe gore a be go sa vaire a be go sa dire gore di go baka kore let's understand the situation madina le teng ya re la re no go sa budgetelwa go a go baakanya so It is as if batho ba Molepolo le batho ba Kanye ga isko ba ngongorege ampo ba ise kopo gore ba gaetso di ka go tse di ntse yana. Ke ra gore ya gore ne go sa budgetelwa. I don't understand it.
Your last word on it, so that we go to other issues. There are many issues here. No,
okay.
My head. Sir.
Yes. My DI development. Ha tshwanela ra a recurrent. Ha re kgone go avayara. But like I was trying to say it earlier, the reason Madia ana abua, it was a delivery, capacity to deliver issue. It was not issue a budget. If we had the capacity, that money would have been spent because the relevant people would have been able to use the money. But lacking the capacity meant we spent it slowly, not because
Thank you very much. Honorable Jacobs. Wait.
Mr. Chair. Let me take this opportunity to say good morning, Accounting Officer. Accounting Officer, my first question is here. A huge number of case records are not produced on time. This affects the delivery of justice. Sometimes convicts are on bail pending appeals because the record is not available, and they have spent more than half of their sentence. This casts doubts on the administration of justice and on the part of Botswana, that convicts are left to roam without concluding their sentences. Can the administration of justice tell this committee of PAC what is the problem and what measures are they in place to avoid such issues going forth? My second question is here. The Master of the High Courts, how far are they and what measures have they put in place to answer the public's call Kutusiwa Ganako at the Masters for the estates of deceased persons? My third question is, the admin of justice, what is the ratio of cases and backlog to the amount of magistrates in service? And if indeed there is a shortage, why is there no recruitment of magistrates to cover the shortfall? Is that third or fourth? My fourth question. I want to talk about your welfare accounting officer. We have 10 ladies in the High Court, Kolobati. By the way, they have been put on probation, or is it temporary service? And they've worked for the High Court for over 10 years. And just a few months ago, they were told there was no more work for them. What is being done to try and curb against such issues? And Kiraure, when I as the accounting officer, how do you feel Habatwana Baruna Kiraure are being let off from the working space in such a manner? Kiraure, does that not show incompetence of some sort from your department? My last question, can you tell this PAC committee how many judges do we have on the benches that are experts? How can you expect Batlakai compared to the ratio of Botswana that are on the benches? Batlakai.
Thank you. Chief Registrar, please respond. Those are very pointed questions that I think you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Honorable. Let me start with the last one. That we have 30 judges of the High Court. It's a full complement. And then currently we have 10 Currently, we have 10 judges of the Court of Appeal who are locals, and 2 who are expatriates. The expatriate part, just so that we are on the same wavelength, it's a cross-pollination issue. You want to borrow something there to enrich your own. So we always have that latitude to bring in someone outside who may bring in a fresh perspective that we have. So those are the only expatriates we have, the 2 at the Court of Appeal. Yes, sir. And then the 10 ladies, I cannot confirm the numbers, honorable members, but it's a cross-cutting issue. It is not only in Lubatse, but the part that we play in this whole process is to implement the decision of the policy owner, being DPSM. We do not hire these people. So when it came, it was clear who was to be absorbed and who was not. We sought guidance where we thought we needed guidance, and we were given that. What we did was exactly what we had been told is the way it should go.
Remember, Orekana, you the administration of justice. You are supposed to be a fair person according to our eyes. Now, think to yourself, you've got 10 Batswana working at Lubati High Court for 10 years. And then, what on Taore, you are cutting. After 10 years, and then they are let off in that manner. Really, Retaulo, let's be serious. Remember, some of those people, they are our relatives. How do we feel after 10 years, you've kept the person as a temporary employee, and then after 10 years, are we being justful in this manner?
As a person, it grieves me to see any Motswana a lategelwa ke tiro. However, go sa re sepe gore ne ile ya lemmenyana le kae. Ga ke eletse gore any Motswana ka lategelwa ke tiro. But like I was saying, we are not the employer. The employer is DPSM. So because we wanted to absorb these people, they had to give us the guidelines. You are absorbing Babanzinjana, isn't Babanzinjana. But when we implement that, it is not because we are happy or Taulu is losing his employment. No, it is just that that's the part we play. It is regrettable that somebody has to go back home. But our part there was just to implement the policy owner's decision.
Okay, go ahead and answer the next question, sir.
Yes, sir. We wish we could recruit more magistrates. We wish we could recruit more judges, more clerks. But the cake is limited. If I go out there and get 50 magistrates or whatever number that I may want to get, it would automatically mean that somebody at another ministry in education is not able to get the number of teachers that he needs to get, the number of nurses that they need to get. It is just one cake. And ultimately, whether I'm going to have the numbers that I want is determined by the needs in other places who also share the same cake. So, yes, we wish we could engage more, but the national purse is the limitation.
But accounting officer, you have a backlog of cases. How are you going to make sure that your justice service is becoming efficient. You cannot give me the excuse, no, we cannot hire more judges, we cannot hire more magistrates. That's a flimsy excuse. I mean, you've got a backlog of cases. You need to try and sort out this backlog of cases. I mean, people are losing their confidence in your department. You have criminals on the streets that are not being prosecuted. You have murderers on the streets. They are not being prosecuted because when you are not hiring judges. I mean, what kind of a flimsy excuse is that?
Thank you, Honourable Member. Backlog, we define as a criminal case that has exceeded 18 months. That's what we classify as backlog. For a civil case, when we say backlog, we are referring to a case older than 24 months. Now, inevitably, you are always going to have backlog because the process has its own delays. When you have more cases, as our judges and magistrates do, inevitably you are going to not be able to finish everything. When you get a postponement, today somebody is sick, they cannot attend court, you have to postpone that case. The diary is congested until maybe September. It means you can only set a date that far ahead. That on its own creates backlog. So, but we also have backlog mitigation strategies. For example, one of the reforms that we have is judicial case management, that the judge should take charge of the case so that it avoids unnecessary postponements and all those other things. That's backlog management strategy.
But we have cases of murder that are still pending over 3 years in this country. So, I mean, how do you tell me 18 months and what? Really? You've just taken oath in front of this committee of PAC. And you're not telling us the truth, Retaul. I'm saying that there are people that are sitting in prison or on the roads that have cases over 3 years that matter. And I can tell you which ones exactly.
Make uto concern ya Honorable Jacobs. Kiro gongwe we are being very generic. Hone me backlog ya rona harleng teng ha. It's a mahakai.
Backlog is a very dynamic.
No, it's not dynamic. Ki motho yo na le 18 months case ya go sa attend you or 24 months.
Yes.
That's what you just said.
Exactly.
You know, ka ke gore me backlog ya rona ya di case it's a mahakai. Harleng teng.
Okay. I do not have numbers ready at hand. But yes, you always have a measure of backlog against your caseload.
It's very important. You know, we had indicated in our previous engagement, Lelo Nagore, about the update you.
Sorry, my chair. This was one of the issues that we brought up last year,
yes.
When we were here.
Yes.
Can I return now? He cannot tell us how many backlog cases they have. I mean, what is that?
PAC report update ya backlog but kutu a re gana dipalo gone mong go supa gone gore se re di dumalanang mo PAC ga di tsewe ka thwagalo o letsa hela gore go bo go tile go buiwa. We have it written down. The report says there should be an update on the backlog. Maybe the right, so Honorable Jacobs, una buile gape ka di khansa master tsa ruena wa itse ke di rata thata o tlhalose gore backlog yone ya master ya di-case tsone tse tsa boswa e tsamaya kae le yone.
Okay. Thank you.
And not only that, Mr. Chair, kana the last time haki bua ka kganya master, I even indicated to Reta hore ke morake ke mongwe wa batho bale ba ile hore le bone ba emetse kgang ya bone by the master. I think I told you that. Me gompieno o tla o ke ra o sa re tsholela sepe o ntse ha lenya gatenya morere 5 morere 2 a o Reta olo a go re ne serious ka tiro mona mogolo.
A kere rareng Reta olo ga rena di number.
We don't have the numbers, Mr. Chairman.
A rena di number tsa backlog ya di case a rena number backlog ya dikgang tsa boswa ga rena di number.
Yes.
Just a read, Mr. Chairman.
Don't you think you should be having them? You don't have them that we can take. But don't you think you should be having them?
Now that the honorable members want the numbers, I see I should be having them.
That's not a good answer. Now that we
want
them.
Mo reporting wa bona. Ya no gora gore ga wa ka wa sala morago me e mo reporting. Kore ditata tsa rona ga di kalokalo. Me go nemo go supa a disregard for our recommendations. Go supa gore di kgantse re lo di neelang gore di sale morago ga le di tse ka thwagalo. And sengwe se motho ka se kopanyela ke gore can you make those figures available to us in a week's time? Yeah, in a week's time. Me ga dira lemoga gore in another case e re na le yone Mr. Taulo e re na le yone mo nako e hiteng le re solofeditse gore mo di-caseng tse di involve ombudsman e tare mo bekeng a re sena go kgaogana le bo le tisa record ya di-case tsa teng mo bekeng from last year, but we have not seen anything. Re tsamaela go dumela gore lona ebile in particular ga le na sepele di-recommendations tsa rona, and I think it's up to honorable members to decide gore ga batho mme ba supa gore ga ba tsetsia di-recommendations tsa rona ya ke re tse kgato e go thamalale.
Ya kgato e tshotse gore re tse ke go ba reporta ko PSP. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, ne ke batile go ira raelo mo go ile ya boswa.
Mapele a hetse go araba dipotso tsa Honorable Jacobs, and then o tata wa itsenya ha o tsena o wetsa dipotso tsa Honorable Jacobs. Me matshwenyego a rona ke one wa bona chief registrar gore o ka di kgantse o di bua hela go rile bophara, they're very generic, ga o tsene mo detailing e re talka.
I acknowledge that part, Mr. Chairman. It is regrettable if the feeling is that we disregard the PAC issues. In fact, Kahor, we are calling for numbers. Let me do the undertaking that before the week is out, this week, I will avail the numbers to the committee. Thank you.
Akere ne re utlwa gore ko ena foromane tona ko administration of justice, the last man ke potso ko ena ga ona foromane yo mongwe o go eta because I ke batla foromane ya gore yaanong ke itseele ko nkgang gore ite re itseele gone ko gongwe ebile re itseele ko go tona tona wa lona ke mang?
Foromane wa me o teng ko ke chief justice.
Foromane ya go ke chief justice ga se gore kgang ye re itseele ko honorable members. Nna ke akanya gore re he reporte yone o ta re neela mme kgang ye gape re itsetse ko chief justice gore administration of justice mo go tsenne di dumalana.
My chair, I think the whole thing already, the committee of PAC are undermining. There's no way we could be asking for things and then on the second meeting, a year later, we are not finished with that information. My chair. Otherwise, there's no use of us being here. Then the other issue, 155,000 and recovery. Who's going to be liable for that loss?
We will go in the direction of escalating the matter to the Chief Justice.
Yes.
No, we're not decided to kupile. And then let's say, Honorable sorry.
The issue, Yakoha Master. First of all, let us acknowledge that there are delays in the Master's office. Most of it has to do with the fact that you get to have a lot of them being dealt with by the same master. So, but the other thing is that with these master's cases, you are bringing in people who are emotionally charged about you put them in a place like this, Obore, they should make decisions about the what do you call about the estate of the departed. Now, most of the time they will break down, you have to wait. So these meetings become very long. And yet you have a lot of them. You need to have a lot of meetings.
Are you justifying the delays or what are you doing here?
No, sir. I'm trying to just to paint the background of where you are operating. When you are dealing with someone who is emotional, you just need to allow them space to recover themselves before you can go on. When Basimola Mana Bone, there's nothing you can do as the master. You wait for them. But apart from that, once the master has appointed an executor, the conduct of the estate is with the executor. And usually that's where the delays come in. And the master cannot say to the executor, I'm giving you an order that by Monday next week you should have done 1, 2, 3. The master does not have that. So that's part of the delay.
10 years.
That's very true. If you drill down to what's delaying those matters, you are going to find that it's the squabbling within the family itself, not the master.
Honorable Sedi.
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair. Putiniki Buritse, 155,000. And coming back to the issue, your near master, Retaul, I want to tell you this. The master was given, she was given a verdict by the High Court to say property should be changed into a certain person's name. For 35 years till today, it's not happened. So you cannot tell me that story. That is not the master.
Hey, 10 years. In another case, it's 35 years. Honorable member of offline. You're near 35 years.
I think I would want to help the honorable member.
Yeah.
Maybe on the side.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Honorable Sedi, please.
Yes, I think, Mr. Chairman.
155,000, Mr. Chair. The 155,000, the loss.
Okay, I'm being advised. Or Kanye, 35 years. I agree, he will engage you and then you'll give us a response on it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the advice I'm getting.
The most
appropriation
of
the response here.
Huh?
I could as well give the response here.
Mogoyone had 35 years.
Yeah, 35 years, yes.
Or you know the case?
No, I don't know the particular case. But ordinarily, the master does not do any transfers. Yes. Once the court has ordered, it would be clear who has to do that. So unless the honorable member is saying that a court made an order and said, you, the master, should do the transfer, which I think highly unlikely.
Okay.
Yes.
Honorable Jacobs, we are 155,000. Which one is that?
Yes, 155 is the loss of cash.
Oh, no, we addressed
that we discussed.
We addressed it.
Yes.
Honorable Sedi.
Mike go leboga chairman nya tota ne ke re ke ira follow up mo go tsa setseng a rabile mo go tsone bogolo jang ha re bua ka boswa. Mr Chairman, kana o supile gore mo 2 weeks yo ne nga mosoloheditse o solohetsa gape 2 weeks ne ke ra assurance ke ile potswanta ka gore 2 weeks wa ntha padilo wa last gompieno re solohela mo go sa se buang ka 2 weeks tota khanya meki khanye ya ga master le boswa gongwa ko accounting officer e thatsetse motswana yo re ditseng gore khanye ya boswa pedi high court tse bana nnatso ba thusa batho jang ka gore o ithala ngwele gore ha o ya ko high court ya mahalape for instance batho ba kopile madi gongwa go boloka musi go tabo go ra gore go na le figure ba ikopile mme be le gore ga e dumelo ha ba setse ba tisa khanya bone gongwe mo ga borone high court e be le gore la ha ba sa hiwi figure ne ba ikopile mme figure a tenya go godimo ke re gongwe a re harologanyetse gore tota go abo go lebilweng tota khanya ga master ke mme gongwe ya bohelo ke gone gore mme ha ile gore ha gona dinganyisanyo ko ba beng ba ta go kopa go thuswa ka madi a boswa gone mme hela go tsana go e kae because jaaka re bua about 10 years 35 years is a lot of years ke a leboga Mr Chairman.
Chief Registrar, can you please respond?
Thank you, Honorable Member. In terms of the Administration of Estates Act, an estate should be wound up within 60 days.
Within 60 days?
Yes, if I recall correctly. That is the time set in the Act. And that time is not an unreasonable time. But the problem that we are discovering is that the master will have done the part that the master can do, and then the parties go. Next time one of them comes, he says, "Kana the executor is ujadi toto estate yo mongwe complain akasele o complain akasele." When it gets to that stage, sometimes they will take it now to court. It becomes a case in court. At that point, the master can only sit and wait until they are done with what they are doing there. Once they are done with court, depending on what the order says, they can come back to the master. So those are the delays that we encounter there. As to the Mahalape issue, I think I've heard of this particular one. One of the things that we had wanted to do, which unfortunately we could not do because of the tight fiscal space, we had wanted to organize a standardization workshop. You see, when you come here into my office and I tell you that, I mean, you get into an office and you are told that this thing should be registered like this, or something. At the level of hearing, we hear you. but when it comes to application, we may do things differently. That's the part that we think we have neglected over time, to train our new people as they come in. So when we established Mahalape, in fact, even part of the time with Francistown, we did not have time to standardize our processes. So we also pick those discrepancies that sometimes you'll find in Francistown, someone has done things this way. In Gaborone, they are doing it this way. We wanted to organize that workshop so that we can then agree on a standard way of doing the same things, whether you are in Maung or you are in Gaborone. So it is still coming. We hope it will be able to address issues like the one that you raise, Honorable Member.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, ke a mo utlwa gore kana wa re bua ka situation e leng gore batho ba bo go sena sepe se ba ka se dira, Mr. Chairman, ba tshwanela ke gore ba boloke musi ka gore madi one a gagwe ya jaanong ke batla go utlwa gore accounting officer o batla go akae mo gone mo tsone di mo tsonetse le bone ba lemoga diphoso tse ba dumela gore go tshwantse ga dirwang go thusa batswana go na le gore motho a ba le mo mmošareng mme le gore jaanong ditsagago ga di kgone go mo hita ka mabaka a tsamaiso e ba di mitang gona ana gore ga ba e dirisenta go ngwa kwa a thalose kganye ka gore tota it's a concern kana batho ba ba hella ba ta ko gore na le rona re sena ipethuso e ka lo, Mr. Chairman. I thank you.
Accounting officer, mme o ka re gantsinyana o ganela thata mo go defending rather than tell us what are you doing go leka go baakanya seemo gore se ka sa babalela batswana. Ha ke go utwi o ka re o tlhamale thata mo gore re baakanya ha kae gore diemo tse tsa dikgang tsa boswa di baakangwa. Tswelela wa arabe.
The specific case, like the finer details, was simply that the master before whom the people appeared felt that he had to impose a limitation on how much they could draw out of the deceased's account. That's what gave birth to the issue. Now, which is where I was coming in to say one of the things that we have been wanting to do is to standardize so that we weed out problems like this one where a particular master feels that he needs to impose limitations on how much these people can access to be able to bury the deceased, whereas somebody else is going to feel that they do not have to have a limitation. So it's what I was referring to earlier when I said we wanted to run a workshop so that we take out these gray areas and have an office that runs the same way, whether you are in Francistown, whether you are in Gaborone or in Mahalape.
Thank you, Chair. Mary La Morele, accounting officer team. Mo kanyenya bobereki go tlie gore tumelo ya gago ke gore dipalo tsa bobereki di a thaela mo lephateng mme ebile ga di thaela jalo go raya gore tiro ga le kgone go e dira sentle. Sone se Mr. Chairman sentha se re ka go lebega o ka re kgang e buiwa ke maphata otlhe gongwe mo lenaneo la rona re leke go ba DPSM ha moragonyana o hapele ga finance so that re ka kgobokanya dikgang tse di lebaganyeng DPSM re tere leke go bona gore maphata a ka thusega jang. Mme motho ha ka botsa gore gone mme in the meantime thata re lebile dingongore go tsone tsa bo ombudsman le dira eng go netefatsa gore dingongore go tsa batho mme tsone di arabiwa thata ha o bua ka tsone di court reportera yalo gore mo dikganyeng tse dingwe ga gongwe go nna le gone gore ba ka bereka overtime ba ka bereka ka di-weekend kana o ka tisa bangwe ba ba tswang go sele e le ba le temporary nako e khutshwane go leka go kgorometsa dikgang tse di ntseng jalo ka gore ga e ka ke a nna selelo sa tshotsho hela ba go sa diragale sepe maikelo ke go dira go leka go hego sa gore dio di diragale dingongorego tsa batho di hele.
Can go to another question if it's okay. No, the procedure we are following. Don't worry, exhaust your questions about the other.
Thank you. Khae ngwe ke ya Prodio cases. Di kgang tsone tse tse leng gore batho ba duelelwa di agente ke goromente ka lenaneo lone le le leng teng gore ile ha lo oketsa dithata a be di agente di kgona go tsa dikgang di le dintsinyana potso ke gore gompieno seemo se ntse jang a ntse ba tsweletse ba di tsaya ka dipalo tse dintsinyana le gone gore kante gone mme le dira go le kae gore agente yo ya be le gore wa monitoriwa o lebelelwa ka tsela e ntseng ya gore yone mme tiro wa e dira ka gore go nna le dingongorego tsone tsa bo goreng ga gongwe agente ga nne teng ko court motho o iphitlhela a le nosi mekgang e le bokete le tse dingwe hela jalo. And then kgang e ya pending cases me thata re isa ko dikganyeng tse di tshwanang tsa di-project ko dikganyeng tse di tshwanang tsa stock theft bogodu jwa leruo yaanong o ka re ke kankere mo lehatsheng la rona ka bophara mme ga go lebege boathudi bo botsaya jaaka bo tshwanetse gore bo botseye dikgang tse di sekwe di hele le ya tsa di-project yalo ditsela di eme dikago di eme tsa goromente mme ga ore wa reetsa gote kgang e kwa makgotlatshekelo go na le tsela ya nokaneng gumare e na le 7 years e emitsi ga e tsamaege gompieno ke mogobe mme ga ore wa reetsa gote kgang e kwa makgotlatshekelo a dira go le kae go leka gore dikgang tse di hegoge ka gore gore mo tshwanang ga bo bogodu jwa leruo kana judgment kana katholo ke kiletso ke deterrent gore ba bangwe ba ne ba akanya go dira ba ska ba dira mme ha le tshotsho hela e nna bothata ya bohelo ke yone ya master gore re ntse re utwa master ha khona go dira sa khona go dira sa but go na di kgantse e leng gore ha se di kgantsa ki di kgantse re ka re gongwe di gone mo officing ya ha master tota ke ene a sa kgone go di dira me re tse se kai ka bo di garnishing orders kana ke re ha garnishing process e diragala mo ene gore motho wa mme o ta porota wa rre a ba ntsha madi a ntshetsa ko khote gore yo a khona go a tsa kgwedi le kgwedi mme madi a teng ha etele ko go mmeyo ba ta tseiwa ko gore yo kgwedi le kgwedi mme yo nna le bo 6 months bo 3 months a sa kgone gore o ka tsa madi le dira ka madi a batho go lokwa kga e nngwe ke yone ya yo ntse le within the master gongwe project e dirilwe goromente batho ba be ba tlhokagala bo go raya gore instead of gore a duela batho straight away ba duela through master re ka tsaya mo go tshwanang ga Mau International Airport dituelo tsa bodisane e sa le batho ba dumalana gore di family di kopana go interviewa go tshwana ke gore go duelwe yana ba dumalane ngwaga ga gona le ha le dituelo tse di tang ha o ya ko transport ba isitsa madi go master o dirile ka madi a batho so ha se kganyela ya gore di tsamaiso di are ke kganya gore even within the office ya master ha gona sepe se se diragala le ha madi a batho a tisitswe gona ko court
me ke tsare di utetse accounting officer di dintsinyana wa di utlwa di tse ka boripana mme gore ne le information e tetseng ra ga gore mastera le ka madi a maintenance wa implicate ya gore ga borose ke mathata yang.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It is true that we are short on the ground, but relating to issues arising out of the Ombudsman's office, we really follow them. Matters of transcriptions, for example, like recently now, we were requesting for overtime for some court reporters to work over weekends to be able to catch up on their transcriptions. But these are short-term measures, and they have limitations of finances. But long-term, we are in engagement with the Botswana Public Service College. We are trying to talk to them for them to be able to take over the to train court reporters, so that we will have a larger pool of court reporters from which to draw in the market. Currently, there is no institution that trains court reporters in Botswana. So we are hoping that going in that direction will give us a long-term solution to the problem. Prodio cases. The reason why the rules of court were amended to increase the fees and tariffs was because it had been observed that lawyers did not perceive these cases to be profitable, even though this is supposed to be a service for God. But yes, after the fees were reviewed, immediately we noticed that more and more lawyers were taking up cases. Now, having done that, what we have observed on the ground now is that we are now seeing instances where lawyers, it would appear, want to drag cases for long, because every time he comes to appear, he is paid for that appearance. Every time he comes to appear, even if it's for a mention, he will be paid for that mention. So some now want to drag the cases, will seek postponement, even where one was not justified. So it comes back to the issue of judicial case management that I was talking about earlier. That the judge who observes that this particular lawyer is seeking postponements unnecessarily, he can actually say, fine, even though I agree to the postponement, I will not allow you now to either to claim the appearance fee, or he can say to him, okay, I don't think you need to attend the next mentions, so that you cut the source. He should not be getting money for not doing anything. And yes, we get cases where clients, the accused persons, will complain that this lawyer, I just met him at the door. He did not come to me to consult. He did not hear what I have to say. I just met him at the door when we were getting to trial. These things happen, which we have to work with the Law Society to try and resolve. The issues of stock theft. When everything is there before the court, a case of stock theft is a case that you can do in one day and actually finish it and maybe just remain with a judgment. But the problem that we are encountering on the ground is that you get there, you are ready as the court. The prosecutor is not available. The defense attorney is not available. Or the accused person is not available. In any of these situations, you cannot do anything to progress that case. exhibits are stolen. The police officer goes today, he wants to collect the exhibits, he finds there's none. Some of the delays relate to the investigation itself. Sometimes when we say the case is delaying in court, yes, it is in court, but it is still not yet ripe for trial because the police officer is still investigating, he is still processing other things that have nothing to do with the court. But simply because the case has now been registered, people looking say, it is the court which is delaying. Sometimes the delay is elsewhere. But it is, these are issues that we discuss we have a forum called the Judicial Criminal Justice Forum, where we meet as prosecutors, magistrates, judges, all other stakeholders of the court, where we discuss these things. What can we do here? How can we help each other to try and see how we can move things forward? On the issue of the master, the matter of garnishee orders that we are referring to here, this we get from the magistrate's court. The garnishee order, the magistrate will make an order to say, since your employer is government, I will issue an order against government to take an amount of money out of your salary and pay it to your to Marengwana. That's what happens. And then every month that money is collected and paid over to Marengwana. Now, I am aware that there are situations where it will take months that money not being paid. Sometimes because the ladies themselves choose to let the money accumulate for a few months instead of coming every month. Sometimes I believe it's delays within the office itself for the money not to be paid. But generally, the monies are able to be paid. Yeah. The last one about the Maun airport, I don't know. I think I didn't get the question correct clearly.
It's one hell ya ganishi yakere ya ganishi ko magistrata ya no ye mo na mo high court whereby batho ban ba tsona gore nka ba duelwa ke government directly but be ba thokahala ha ba thokahala gore re ya no a ke re madi a teng a ya ko trust and all this sorts me anong government ena rola hile lona you have done I can really do that. Family hearing. Lady relay, Balilwapa, who hedile 12 months ago, or mental hila maji, Lompian Watabamdimo, have I see here maji.
Nakuna like a sabo, Kongara Lankaro.
Mapi.
No, Mukosan as I'll tell you. Give me a piece of
Mawit.
Okay. On the issue of the payments to the Maun airport, it's one of the matters that were taken as a project by the Office of the Master last year. They went to Maun on several occasions where they were able to make payments of these Maun airport claimants. Some of these amounts are in the Guardians Fund. Okay, so the payments, the payments out of that are the ones that are still pending. I want to believe that we are working on those to process them.
Can't get delay. Everything to do with the master. You did some master. Okay, what dear? Ya no processing you ne ke one parliament a ngore ga ka yone gore ke go tserele ba ka mo go kana kana mme di family hetsi di dumalane.
Master.
The problem is not that,
Make a look, it's a problem then. Regarding the master as the upper guardian, and it is indicated more reporting my dear Mangwe, sitting with the master, my dear our child maintenance. And the mabaka ba khobokanya ba reng, there's some sense of child neglect. What are you doing to ensure that my dear are quite one thing to ensure that
Chief Registrar Taulo is still consulting, so ukatwasa utasent. Yeah. You are following. Oh, it's interesting how you can follow. But it's fine. Yeah.
You have revealed something that is worrisome. For master ele apagadi ene abana. Obo otla go dira an admission a gore madima ngwana hela ba khobokanya ba reng. Mme ko hatsa one thing from source. The money was intended to immediately go and ensure gore ngwana wa tlhokomelesega. Which in this case, highly gore ngwana o nna le mmaagwe ke ene a sa tseye madi. Gora gore go na le tlhokomelo e tshwanetseng ngwana o at the time. Are you not in a position ya go bona gore mme gone o devise means and ways tsa gore madia running in millions as ka nna as a collective kana gore bana ga ba tlhokomelesega? And as the master, you should ensure gore bana ba tlhokomelo more so that money has been collected. Thank you.
You have made your point there.
I think I read honorable member. The money, the payments, it's a tokomelo aban. I do a lot of magistrat. It's in master. Now, once I do a Zukoha magistrata, there's nothing that the court can do but wait for mayo le gore data go tsa madi.
No. That is exactly my point. When I as master, order le khatlhago tsa ngwana go gaisa mongwe le mongwe, go mo go tshwentse go tshwenye. You should not just say no go diragala go ga magistrata and that's it. It is an indication na gore mongwe ga tlhokomele ngwana o ga tlhoke go thuso ya tlhokomelo ya ngwana. Something must be devised and put into place.
I agree. Maybe something is to be, but ne ke batla gore nne clear gore madi a yang go home master ke madi a sele. Madi a yang ke ra gore a yang go home master ga sa tlhokomelo ya bana. A re buang ka one ha re bua go ga magistrate. So the garnishi orders tse re buang ka tsone ke tse go tweng duela 500 pula kgwedi le kgwedi o duela go tlhokomela ngwana ayo. That money, once the court has
Page 11 will indicate that you have unclaimed madi. And this money is running in millions. And part of that money, get child maintenance. So when I get like go master, as an apagadi and abana, not for ochore madiate, you should be concerned for honale madi abana. I don't lie somewhere unclaimed. And it means there could be child negligence by somebody who should be taking that money and ensuring or tlamela madi ka one. Not no, it is in your report.
Page,
Yeah.
page, you
Thank-
said page? Page 11.
Right. I get. I'm trying to draw a distinction between the two funds. To say, my dear, I duelwang kote, duela 500 pulare tere tokomele ngwana ka ena. I duelo ka magistrata. Ha I duetso ka magistrata. We are waiting for ma ngwana gore ate go tsaya madi ya.
This is where I'm having an issue.
Yes.
Me a kere
Yaanong ne ke batla go wela gone ho gore ga a manele madi a go mastera.
me maririane motho ra go utlwa me ne riana ke re gona le ona ao a maintenance a go supporta ngwana on an ongoing basis a tswa go borre me gona le sorry Honorable Jacobs, I'm still making a point here. Ne ke re gona le madi a bana a go go mastera a ile gore ke madi a botsadi ja bana bao ba ile gore botsadi ja teng bo tlhokagetse me madi a teng a go go mastera me go thata gore bana ba kgone go claima madi ona gore ba tlhokomelwe on an ongoing basis go tsaya lebaka ma ke go ya sekai go na le bana ba ile ba tlhoka ke batsadi mme ba tshwanetse ba tswelele ba duela school fees me ha ngo mastera ene ha tsana kwa ha go sena go processiwa sengwe le sengwe a bata sengwe le sengwe o ta ba re nya mme madi a tele ka bona morago ga 90 days la bona morago ga 90 days sekwele sone kwa se ra ngwana se re tswa mo sekwele gore ke di khanyala tsa mastera tse dintsintsi tse ke akanya gore tshwanetse gore re tswa ha re resolve ile gore tota mme gone ga go ka tweng ka office ya mastera mme le gone o tlhalosa gore 90 days yo go teng batsadi ba moemele bana bone mme ba kubile ko sekweleng ke 90 days why because we have reports coming to our parliamentary offices so nko e tlhalosa motho e khaye ka re bile ya mabana we now learn you are the upper guardian ya bana.
Thank you, Honorable Member. The process of paying Madi out of the Guardians Fund is a process that we hold jointly with the Ministry of Finance. Madi kana wa sala tsenyo wa ntsana ho a the interest and all that. So when it comes to payments, we initiate the process one side, then we pass it to the Ministry of Finance to do the other part. So when we make that allowance, it's to cater for that process. But where for example, we have a process of engaging with stakeholders. We write them to tell them, look, we are still working on this process, allow and so far we are able to assist them, even though the process is still ongoing.
So we are really deal with finance.
I
process of finance
I would not say by dear as such, but that we only own one side, one part of the process. The other part is owned by finance.
Mr. Tau.
Yeah.
Gore wa lona ha go tsenwa kopo eo ya madi lo tsale ba ke le kae le dirang gore e re combined lona le finance bo le gona go tsaya 90 days lona le tsale ba ke le kae so that we can establish gore tota ke mayo diang this process.
Ordinarily, honorable member, this is a process that shouldn't take long. But because we are short on the ground, they end up queuing the request. They end up queuing. That's where the delay is.
Honorable Diwa.
Yeah, my questions are not necessarily different from the previously asked questions by members. But but I have a concern here the issues that di raised about overpayment ya di salary. Kana how level overpayment or level loss of cash and cash shortages. How the other tsote. Madi a te a tsama hela go 485,000 pula. Ke madi a mantsi. So ke ipotsa gore what measures have you put in place to ensure that there is recovery of some of this? Money is sitting in the pockets of people outside there. I know a to say who run the organization. Then we need to know the recovery measures. So the ranking, even prevention of recurrence, as on idiots. I keep on staffing house, most sense in Yahoo, develop the the other thing, only the recommendations that the ombudsman. How comply more and how long do you take to comply more the recommendations the ombudsman, because there is a concern here for the recommendations ombudsman are disregarded. So I want you to at least tell us how your organization in a challenge you disregard the recommendations ombudsman. The other challenge, you talked of budget development, or it can be, there is no environment. There is no room for environment. Now you see, no 16.58 million for development, and you only use the 54%, and there is this challenge. Money are we going to move that direction? You environment, me challenges, the activities that I don't know. Committee should make some recommendations regarding this lack of environment. The other thing, stock theft. Jaji ona bidiwa kote taolo. Taolo, I don't know, but obalebe ga ba tshwana. Ona na le dingwe tsana ata di dire ka kaya stock theft. Ye ile hore gongwe ha motho a le teng, nna ne ke kopa gore a share le judges tse dingwe gore ona dira ya go henya di cases tsonetse. And ke itse gore batho ba ne ba bua ka ene thata, ibile ba batla go mo planela dio tse dingwe tse di sa siamang ka gore di cases tsonetse he easily disposed them of. So gongwe ke go ka gore gongwe ke ene gongwe is his brother. Gongwe a share le ba berekang le bone gore ona dira ditsamaiso tse dintsi yang. Di case tsa ene di sa last. But mo seemong sone seo gape, batswana ba lela konte accounting officer. Ba re di case tsa stock theft. They are more aligned to traditional practices. Se se palang gore yaanong le ha re itse gore batho ba na le ditshwanelo ke di sa isiwela go dikgoteng tsa Setswana, because go kgoteng tsa Setswana o ka re ga di cases tse they are not a challenge. Ba di khosi kwa ba sa tsena sekolo ba ba dirile bo form 5 bo form 3 ba dila le tsone easily, but to you didn't a challenge e le gore batho ba teng ba nna ba utswela ruri hela because ba feel gore ha ba ya go ga magistrata go nna motho gore ba win di cases. No ke re gongwe o comment ka tsone tse le issue ya di bail out. Batswana ba concern ka batho ba ba bola ba bangwe dipolano di dintsi malatsi. Motho wa o bola batho ka moso you are bail out, ka moso o bola batho ka moso bail out totally o dira ya go sireletsa batswana ha ile hore you are fond of giving people the bail out means le bona gore they are dangerous mo society o ka re kita ema gone
Thank you, Sam.
modulasetulo
Ra leboga Honorable Digwa. Right, nko di leke tseo le tsone tsa Honorable Taolo wa stock theft.
Thank you. On the issue of overpayment of salaries, the measures that we have put in place is to follow up the relevant people where it is possible and get them to repay. But where we are not able to get them to do so, we have engaged the Office of the Attorney General to follow up such people. And we have, I think most of them, we have them before the Office of the Attorney General. And to prevent recurrence, really, it takes training of our people so that such can be avoided. We comply with Ombudsman recommendations, but compliance is not just to say, it is an active thing. When it is calling for a case record, you have to produce a case record. And of course, in doing so, we fall subject to the limitations that we have on the ground. The position that development funds cannot be vied is not our creation. I will say it's a government, Ministry of Finance institution. I don't know what they have seen or what they are trying to curb.
We will have to engage the Minister of Finance on that one.
Indeed, Honourable.
Yeah.
On stock theft, yes, there are cries from our people who are the case that's we are also aware of that. But kana the law ke yone e re hang ditshwanelo wa gaetso e be e bua gore ga o lebisitswe molato o letelelwe se so ha motho a go ra re nna ke batla moeledi ke gore gone o ngweditse ka wena ga gona gore o ka mora wa re nya tswelela hela mme le ga go ntse gone yalo di-case tse ntse di a dirwa ko makgotla a Setswana and we know gore bone ka gore di-process tsa bone ga di tshwane le tsa rona ba kgona go di sutisa ka bonako di-case tsa go nna jalo so ga se gore go a ilediwa honorable it is still open mo di-case tse motho a sa reisang tshwanelo wa gagwe di a kgona go isiwa teng ka kodi ya go dirwa ka bonako beile ke kganya molao ba gaetsho ke tshwanelo e motho a na le yone gore o ka hiwa beile mme lekgotla le seka mabaka ka nako yone eo go bona gore a ke motho yo le ka mo le tellang gore a ye go leta tshekwa le kwa ntle ga nka ke ka tsena thata mo goreng ga go rileng ga go sa reng because in any given case lekgotla le lebella mabaka a case eo to decide whether that particular person should be admitted to bail. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Chief Registrar. Ntse re ditse ba tutegi ba bua le wena mme ke notile dingwe tse ke batlang gore o re thuse ka tsone. Santa ke gore matutegi ba tshwenyega thata ka backlog ya di-case. Ke batla gore jaaka re ne ke tara dumalana o re neele di-figure tsa backlog ya di-case mme o dire yalo by category of cases and also do an age analysis ya tsone di-case tsone tseo. And then the second part will be mitigation. Lo dira eng go bona gore backlog e le dila le yone ebile gape le lebile thata tse di lebegang di-case setting di na le lebaka le le leele. That is number one. A ke tsora ke tswa sentle ke a utlwala. Gore you give us the cases by category and then you give the ages of the cases. Tse di na le 20 years and above, 10 years and above, 5 years and above. And then o bo supa a mitigation gore maikelo ke go dira eng. That's number one. Number two, go na le kgang ya backlog ya di-case tsa mastera tse di amang boswa le tsone re ne le di-numbera tsa teng backlog o bo dira age analysis ya tsone di-case tsone tseo tse di na le over 30 years, over 20 years, over 10 years, over 5 years, only 2 years, and then also come up with mitigation measures. That's number two. Number three, ke di-case tse di amang bana tse di go go mastera. What improvements are you put in place go bona gore bana ga ba diegilwe ka madi a batsadi ba bone ba ba thokaetse bogolo jang minor children ba ile rantse ba tsena dikwele le tse dingwe hela jalo ke tsa gore ha o dirile jalo o study that le bore ka engage le lona further in the next engagement, or we can call you up for a special engagement on these matters. On that note, we will break for tea and come back to finish the financials. Thank you very much. You're invited for tea. Thank you. Thank you so much. We are ready to proceed, and we are going to the financials. Actually, we have touched re kgonne go leba dikgang tse dingwe tse di amang Auditor General's report tse di amang tiriso ya madi. And Seth Libile in particular, accounting officer, ke tse di amang loss of cash, ke tsa re buile o ibutule 155,000, ke amang overpayment of salaries, is going at 256,922. Go a supagala tota gore gone ha yaka bathutegi ba supile gore madi a latlhega, and ga re ise re utlwe sentle gore mitigation tota yo go nna eng re utlwile hela gore you have a very good explanation ya go tlhalosa gore ke go diragetse, mme hela gore yaanong tota re tshwanetse ra dira eng yone overpayment of salaries ha re ise re utlwe gore wa reng ka tsone. Gongwe ke dilo tse tshwanetse gore e re ha o wetsa kgang ya gago tsatsi eno o boka re di arabela gore money is being lost. 155,000, 256,000, that's a lot of money. A re tswelele ka buka ile right, so memorandum of progress.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Wait a ka go isoboka.
Ke dumela gore tota ka o sa tswa puo.
Just hold the recording. Just hold the recording. That's still fixing the recording.